Spoilers for sinners, but I need to talk about this because I've seen some people try to portray Remmick in like an altruistic type of light, when in reality, he he's just vampire Jim Jones. For those of you who don't know about the Jim Jones cult, he specifically targeted the disenfranchised. He specifically targeted black and brown people to be within his cult, and he made it seem like, oh, it's full of love and unity. But as soon as his power was slightly threatened by a higher force, aka the US government, he had everybody killed, and or had them kill themselves. Because although he touted these ideas of love and unity, he himself harbored a lot of racism. He himself harbored racists. He himself did horrific things to his congregation and allowed terrible things to happen to them. Because the true reason for the formation of the cult was not love and peace and equality. It was for his own personal gain and power. Remmick had no reason to turn anyone. He did it specifically because he wanted a hive mind cult. They literally talk about like, oh, we're all sharing brains. Isn't this great? But Remmick is the maker. While everybody is sharing, he has a higher position because he's the one that created them. I think the reason Stack was able to like not be affected by Remmick's whole chicanery is because Mary was his mate. And Annie's death broke Mary from the pack. Like, she had a visceral reaction to it, to her death. And I think that is what separated her from just blindly following Remmick. And, you know, in the end, saved her and Stack's life. And I do believe Stack was inside the juke joint, which is why Smoke went full on the clan. Because, you know, there was no reason for him to stay there. But I think he was doing his one last protection of his brother. But yeah, Remmick has issues. Okay, so the reason I used Jim Jones in particular to describe Remmick is explicitly because, while yes, they still are their individual persons and they still carry an amount of free will, they are enthralled by a charismatic leader. Now, while those that follow Jim Jones were done, you know, with manipulations, those that follow Remmick are done through magical means because he is their vampiric mate. And while, yes, they can break away like Mary, it takes a traumatic event for them to unstitch themselves from blindly following Remmick. There is a reason that Beau, despite adoring his wife Grace, is willing to kill his own daughter. Because Remmick wants her in the cult. Like, yes, they still know these people, they still have their souls, but they're also willing to rip the throats out of their loved ones. That's not because they want to do it. That's because Remmick wants them to do it. There is no better scene to exemplify the fact that Remmick is enthralling them than when he literally forces them to participate in his culture and go in a circle around him, not even really dancing like they were in the juke joint, while he performs in the center of the eye of this storm he has created. There is a reason why Stack and Mary did not go outside when Remmick was baptizing poor baby Samuel. Mary was disillusioned by the cult as soon as Annie was killed in front of her, and that is why she was able to get away. Meanwhile, Stack not only was made by someone other than Remmick, he was made by the person that broke away from the cult mentality and hive mind, and he had a lot of love and loyalty to his brother. If you have ever studied cults or like seen survivors of cults speak about that, there is normally a point of trauma that breaks them out of their delusions that their charismatic leaders put them on. Remmick wanted a cult hive mind that he could personally lead.